Namaste. Welcome to Buddha's teaching. Today's topic: time and life. These two words, are they totally different? Are they the same? Or what? Time and life, they are synonymous. The ultimate meanings, they both are the same, because we cannot have life without time, and we cannot have time without life. So time and life, if we don't have time, then we don't have life, right? And if we run out of time, that means we run out of life. So time and life are pretty much the same. It pretty much has uh, the, the same meaning, in another word. An example is this. Let's say you have a lot of money, okay? You have millions and millions of amount of money, right? Dollar or rupee or euro or whatnot. So you have a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars. But at a certain time, at one point, you feel sick, right? So when you feel sick and you go to see your physician, and your physician say that you need to have a, let's say, kidney transplant, okay? Because your kidney is failing, for example, and you need kidney transplant and you need it fast. Otherwise, you will not last, very long, maybe 1 or 2 months, and that's about it, because your kidneys are failing. So that would be the bad news, okay? But the doctor said, but the good news is we can uh, get a kidney for you, okay? But the only thing is that kidney, in order to obtain that kidney, you would have to uh, spend all of your money to obtain that kidney. So whether you have 10 millions or 100 millions, it doesn't matter. You have to spend it all in order to get that kidney, to have a transplant. Okay, so let's just say, now, if you are put in that scenario, all right, you have $100 million sitting in your bank account, but your kidney is failing, all right, or your liver is failing or whatnot, and the doctor say it's good news, there's an organ available, but you would have to pretty much give all of that money away, or to purchase or to obtain that organ for transplant. What would you do? That sounds like a dumb question, right? Of course, you would say, take it, take the money, and give me the kidney, or give me the pancreas, the liver, or whatnot, that you can replace, right? That can replace, and to prolong your life. At that point, money has no more meaning for you, right? Life becomes very important, becomes most important to you. Money has no more meaning. So, in another word, all of that money that you have, okay, you 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 have to relinquish it, you give it all in order to obtain that. It means that you are buying time, right? You are prolonging time for your life, okay? So time, so in that essence, you can see that You buying time means you buying life. Okay, so life and time has the same meaning. Okay, if you don't have time, there's no more life. So at that particular moment, in this particular uh, situation or scenario, you can see that time is very valuable, right? The time that we all have, okay, that we all have, every single one of us, the same time, 24 hours a day, okay, and 7 days a week. Doesn't matter whether you are poor, you are rich, or what nationality you are. It does not matter. We all have the same time. So time is very important. Okay, without time, there is no life. So we would spend anything that we can to buy more time or to buy more life. So now at this particular point, you can see that time is very important to you, to all of us, right? Life is very important to all of us too, right? So we want more time and we want to have a longer life. We want to be around as long as uh, we could, right? So while we all have the time right now, so as we can see that how important time is, okay? So when we have time right now, how do we spend our time, right? In another word, how do we conduct our life, okay? Because time and life is pretty much the same. So how is it that we conduct our life? How do we spend time from hour to hour, right? From day to day, from week to week. What do we do with the time? What is it that we do with the most precious um, uh, treasure, right? That we all really, trying to hold on to, right? This that we call life. Okay, what is it that we are doing, right? Of course, first of all, in order to support ourselves, we all have to go to work. And if you're young, you still have to go to school at least. And then after school, we all have to work to earn a living in order to support ourselves, the physical body, right? The food, the shelter, and all that. So, and that is part of our life, which is mandatory in a way, right? Because without that, you cannot survive. So that is part of life already that we have to make effort. Now, after the 8 or 10 hours a day, you have a little bit left time left. That the time that you say, okay, it's my time. That you looking for some kind of release from the hard working day. Okay, so you're looking for some kind of entertainment or whatnot, all right, to release the stress, to release the pressure from the daily activity, the daily workload that we all have. So that is pretty much the a lot of people do, right? After school, after the work, we all seek pleasure, right? We all seek pleasure, looking for entertainment, looking for something to make ourselves happy. Okay, so while we doing that, you know, um, what is it that goes on, right? So the time that we spend Life as it is not that, it's not just after work, it's not just after school, as we all know, because at work we also spend time, right? It's not that we don't spend time. We have to have time to go to work. So another word, working, going to work or going to school, that is also part of life. So life is not just, after work or after school. Life is also at work or at school. So we cannot separate, you know, those activity what that for so many people, the people are looking for the end of the day or the end of the week. All right, oh thank god it's Friday, right? Things like that. So in another word, during the regular work day or regular work school day, they are suffering. Okay, they are struggling, um, because that is like a punishing time in life, right? In another word, um, so if that is the case, just imagine how many hours a day or how many hours a week that we are punishing ourselves, all right, through time, through life, the most precious treasure that we have, the time that we have, the life that we have at work or at school. Okay, um, instead of looking at it as something that is very precious, is very important that we treasure, but for a lot of people, they would look at time spent at work or at school as a dread, right? As a something. I know I've seen a lot of people. They're saying, "Oh, you know, that's the feeling, right? That of going to school or going to work, right? So the time that they have at work or at school is a punishment to them. Okay, and the only time that they can enjoy what they call life is only after school or after work, and that is very fortunate, unfortunate, right? Time or life is 24/7. Okay, so if you separate your life like that, you are in such a, the life is in such a unsatisfactory mode, you know, because there's all kinds of struggling going on inside. Okay, uh, the reason behind it is that we do not understand why is it like that. Why is it that we look at school? Why is it that we look at work as some kind of punishment, as some kind of hard labor? Okay, instead of looking at it uh, as something that is life itself, right? As just part of life itself, something that is important. Instead of looking at it that way, people look at it as a negative approach to life, in a way. But what people tend to forget so fast is that before they, especially for people at going to work, all right, at work, when they're at their job, before they have that job, when they apply for the job, all right, they were praying, all right, um, to get the job, right? They were they are nervous, right, when they go into interviews because they really want that job, right? They want the job really bad. Okay, so after they get the job, okay, a month, 2 months later, a year, that job turns into the punishment. Why is that? Why is it that people are not exciting with the job that they were excited to get? Okay, what changed? Okay, what's changed? So that is something we all need to look at ourselves and say, okay, what happened here? All right, what is it that I'm looking for? What is the mind is doing? Okay, because after all, the time that we spend is our life, right? And life and time is run by our mind, right? What is the mind doing? Why is the mind not satisfied? Why is the mind, why was the mind happy or anxious before the mind got the job, right? Things like that. So that's why in Buddha's teaching, the Buddha teaches to look at this very mind of ours, right? Okay, say understand the mind activity. Okay, uh, when the mind is not happy, we need to recognize that the mind is in an unwholesome state. Okay, when the mind is happy or the mind is joyful, the mind is has love and kindness, compassion. So the mind is in the wholesome state. Okay. So, and of course, there are more to that as we have covered a lot already about what is wholesome and what is unwholesome mind or mental activities, right? So those are the things that we need to find out. After all, this is what life is all about. Life that we trying to buy, okay? Life that we are trying to prolong in order to live, right? So we do we live uh, in when we live? Do we live in order to be miserable at work, right? Ask yourself, okay? You have the time now, you have the job now, but why is it that you feeling negative toward that job or toward whatever situation? Because this is the life that you are buying, right? The life that you have right now that you are trying, that you are clinging on to, why is it that you cannot have a joyful or meaningful life, and instead you are in some kind of agitation and stress and all that? What is it? Why? Right? So that is what we call suffering, right? The unsatisfaction of uh, state of mind is called suffering or dukkha. So that is the teaching right there. Okay, the suffering, which is the first noble truth, and of course that's what we have to learn, and we would find out soon enough that the reason that the mind is not happy with whatever we do, with the work or with the school or whatnot, because there is that poison of that causing issue in the mind that is called greed or desire, right? So, see, we are back to the first and then the second noble truth, the cause of suffering. You see, this is Buddha's teaching, right? So Buddha's teaching is all about life and it has to do with time, right? Without time, there's no life. So we are buying time if we have more money, just like in the example. And right now, you don't even have to buy time because right now you are good. You have time. So spend your time wisely. Okay? Spend your time wisely instead of get into the habit of having negative activity in the mind. Okay? Become aware of your own mental activity. Become aware of your mental state. When the mind becomes agitated, frustrated, not happy, and whatnot, become aware of it. Right? That is how you spend time. This is how you spend your valuable time. Right? You want to spend your valuable time, which is your most uh, important treasure that you have. You spend this valuable time with doing something good, right? Doing something good to yourself, right? Give yourself peace of mind, give yourself joy and contentment, accept yourself who you are, the value of yourself, okay? Does does not depend on other people praise or blame. It has no meaning. The value of yourself is within, right? It has nothing to do with what people say. This is how you cultivate your mind, right? You cultivate your mind to understand itself, okay? To understand this most precious commodity that we have, okay? Time, right? And we spend this time, right, in the wholesome state, and we cultivate our mind away from unwholesome activity. And as we know, unwholesome activities such as greed, anger, hatred, jealousy, right, stress, sadness, depression, worry, and all that, we cultivate our mind to uh, distance itself away from those. And how we do that? We learn about the mind itself. That's what the Buddha taught. Okay, so remember, time is the most important commodity that we all have. Without time, we do not have life. So now that we have time, do not waste it on unwholesome, uh, energy, such as having a fight, right? Anger, having issue, creating all kinds of stress inside. That is not a wholesome way to live, right? Dreaded going to work, going to school. That is not a wholesome way to live, and you have to you have to study why is the mind doing that. Okay, in order for you to live fully, right, in the precious time that you have. Okay, in the precious time that you have, because you once you understand the meaning of how important time is, you know how to use this time properly, right, without wasting it, without using it carelessly. Okay, and instead you use your time in the most useful way, in the most com- uh, heartwarming way, kind way, right? To help yourself and also to help others around. Okay, so and that would be something that you would have to find out for yourself by cultivating wholesome mental activity. What does it give you? right? Once you have wholesome mind, once you have wholesome mental activities within, you can see that you will have a more meaningful life, right? Because the time that you spend is the time that is joyful, that is content, right? It's no more stress upon your shoulder, even if you are at school or you're at work, because that is also life, that is also time, that is part of uh, the whole life itself, right? It's not just after work or after school. The whole 24/7 is time and it is life. So don't just separate them. Wait until this, wait until that. Then I'll be happy. Okay. No, be with yourself. Um, be in the present moment, and you can be happy now, right? With everything that you do, right? But you have to understand this for yourself, and you have to figure out about the mind that the Buddha taught, right? So that's what I like to share with you all today. Time and life, they are synonymous and they are pretty much the same. Until next time, I like to pay respect to the triple gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma. And I like to pay respect to the Sangha. Namaste.